The month of March is drawing to a close, and it's time for a change in scenery. The Giants have left the desert behind and traded it in for the city of San Francisco. The Orange and Black return to the corner of 3rd and King to begin their final tune-up of the spring. It's the Giants and the A's, and it's coming up next. Giants are finally back home here in San Francisco. They are out of the desert as we get ready for exhibition baseball. This is the Oakland A's taking on the San Francisco Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, there's a lot of people that are thrilled to be out of the desert, including mostly the pitchers. And the one thing tonight that if you look at what's going on is you're going to see regular lineups for both teams.
Regular lineups, and they're going to extend the players. They're going to play this like it's a regular season game. So look for these starting 8 behind Jeff Samardzija to go out and get 9 innings. And it's probably going to happen tomorrow as well. In regards to Samardzija, he's probably going to be 4, maybe 5 innings, depending on the length of each inning. They're not going to let him pitch through 2 long innings. So, I mean, it's basically at this point, play well, be smart, don't hurt yourselves. But players are going to get a feel what it's like to play 9 innings back-to-back.
That's right. Back-to-back here in what we think is the greatest park ever made. All right, stay with us. CSN Bay Area Studios, that's where we're going to go right after these messages.
TSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota. Save big during Toyota's One for Everyone sales event. Find the right Toyota for you at buyatoyota.com.
Well, there's a welcome sight. The long wait is over for San Francisco Giants fans as their boys of summer have broke camp in Arizona and have returned back to the Bay. Welcome back to Third and King. That's fun. I haven't been able to say that in a while. Once again, your San Francisco Giants doing a fantastic job with a commercial campaign to promote this season's team. It gives a couple of your favorite players a chance to express their artistic side. We got a couple of them for you to take a look at. Here they are.
Brandon Crawford isn't just the best shortstop in the game. He was born to be a Giant. Kid sat in the stick back in the day and was like,
when I grow up, I'm going to crush it for you guys.
And that's exactly what he's done. Bare hand, backhand, cross body, off balance. There's no throw he can't make. They blast one at him, he's like,
I got this.
That's why he's the man with the Golden Glove. We are SF. We are Giant.
We wanted to take a bold new approach this season, so we asked Matt Duffy if he can hop on a few calls to sell some tickets.
You got this stuff, man. One call at a time. This is Matt Duffy, and let me tell you what I can do for you. Anything's possible, you just have to be there. Well, let me tell you my dream, playing in front of you. Bobbleheads, home runs. I've got 2 words for you, Buster Posey.
The kid's a natural.
Well, that's just a tease of what's to come throughout the season. Of course, they had a fantastic crew shooting those, but we think they also got some good tips from somebody who's been doing this commercial thing for quite some time. We dusted this one off the shelves for you guys to take a look at.
Hey, Kite, these new uniforms look older than the old ones, you know?
Yeah, and they say Robinson helped design them.
Yeah, it figures.
I kind of like the new uniforms, though.
You like these? They're so old-fashioned, though. They're so serious. They're so you.
Come on, Giants. Hang in there.
Oh, you gotta love it. It's always a good time when Dwayne Kuiper's on TV. You're gonna see him tonight. We've got the first game of the Bay Bridge Exhibition Series coming your way. Jeff Samardzij's on the mound. Lineups first pitch, Krug and Kuiper after the break.
Baseball, and there you see Jeff Samardzija. He will be on the mound for the Giants tonight. And we're waiting for the Giants to take the field. This is game 1 of a 2-game series here, and then on Saturday the Giants and A's will play at the Coliseum in Oakland before the Giants will take off on Sunday as they will head to Milwaukee. The Giants come into this game during the Cactus League season. They went 12-19, and the A's went 11-15. And the Giants take the field. So let's take a look at Bob Melvin's lineup. It'll go like this. It'll be Billy Burns in center field. He will lead things off, followed by Chris Coghlan. Coghlan will be the designated hitter. Then it's Reddick, Valencia, and Vogt. Chris Davis, he will hit in the 6th slot. Then it's Lowry, Alonso, and Marcus Simeons, who will round out 7, 8, 9.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Jeff Samardzija, acquired in the offseason as a free agent. Samardzija, he's got a little over 6 years at the big league level, 6'5", 225-pounder. This is what he has done in 6 starts. And like all power pitchers, he started to have his best outings at the last couple of outings in spring training. When you see him, you'll watch him throw anywhere between 93 to 97 miles per hour with the fastball, depending on the grip. He will cut, he will sink the fastball, throw a hard slider and a forkball that he really jams deep in his fingers. It's not like your normal split throwing out the fingertips, but it is a swing and miss pitch. Samardzija out of Maryville, Indiana. You may remember him as a football player with the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame, a first-team All-American wide receiver. Very athletic in everything that he does, and I think Giants fans this year will really enjoy every aspect of this guy's game. And he can still run. I mean, he can do it all. Defensively for the Giants tonight, behind Samardzija, from left to right, it'll be Pagan, Span, and Pence. That'll be your opening day outfield, as well as the opening day infield with Crawford and Duffy on the left side, Panic and Bell on the right side, and Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs. And tonight the skipper's going to extend these guys, and they're going to play a game. It'll happen tomorrow night. They'll back them off on Saturday, get an off day Sunday, and then tea time Monday in Milwaukee.
So there's Bill Miller as he had a little conversation over by the A's dugout as Billy Burns gets ready to step up with Duffy in at third. Billy Burns very fast, and the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it is a called strike. So 7-16, 55 degrees. And it's 0-1 to Billy Burns, who's hitting at 367 this spring. And the home plate umpire, let me see the umpires. Ryan Blakely or Blackley?
I think it's Blackney. Ryan Blackney. We've never seen him call balls and strikes. Bill Miller, the crew chief at first.
Hit to right. Hunter Pence on the move. Look out. And he bounces up against the wall, and so does the ball. And Burns is going to stop at third. So that's how this game gets started, with a leadoff triple.
Well, you're not used to seeing that much carry to right field. Giants just leaving Arizona. Lots of carry everywhere. Here, a bit unusual as this thing just keeps backspinning over the head of Hunter Pence.
I mean, at this point, Mike, you just don't want Pence to go barreling into the wall.
Yeah, I think he may play this a little differently during the regular season. And with Burns, if he gets a ball in the gap, he can fly, and lots of speed, and an easy stand-up triple.
So here's Chris Coghlan. Giants play the infield back, and Coghlan takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Coghlan, a guy that can play just about anywhere, hitting at 304. He had 3 home runs this spring, 11 runs batted in. And there's a called strike.
Pitch just going with the drift, and I think, you know, in the regular season he may have taken on that wall. You never know, but this is not the time or the game to do it in the last 3 days of spring training. Last 3 games of spring training.
Pop-up playable for Duffy. 1 out.
As good as a strikeout.
So here's Reddick. Reddick in the 3rd slot. During the exhibition season, hitting over 400. He's at 405 with a home run. He's got 10 runs batted in. And a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Jeff Samardzija on deck. Danny Valencia should Reddick. See what he does, trying to get that runner in from 3rd. Check swing foul, so 90 up and in, and it's another good 2.
That's good late movement right there at 90. A little cut to it right on the hands. And for a guy who's been red hot this spring, Josh Reddick, I mean, he got chewed up on that. Ball really bored in on him.
Giants again playing back. Now they come in. And it's high, 1-2.
By design, a little elevate. And I think you start to see pitchers this time of year start to move in and out at the knees with their fastball location, but starting to elevate above the letters. And that's not that easy of a pitch to throw. But you start to see more command of the fastball as you get towards the season.
Out of play.
4-seam across the letters, 2-seam on the outside corner with a little soft movement running away from Reddick. And we have a souvenir. Great to be back home, partner.
It is great to be back. Great to be back in this great booth. Great to see all the folks that we haven't seen since September. In the dirt. Nice play by Buster Posey. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I'm not sure he knows how he caught that one hopper. That was a big league scud. Jeremy Affeldt would have been very proud of that one. And I think that's the first time we've seen Samardzija throw a fork ball. Split, fork. Split's a little more on your finger. He calls it a split, but he really jams it deep between his forefinger and his middle finger.
Out of play again.
Well, runner at 3rd base. Just take a look at the dig out of the dirt from Posey. Ball bouncing out in front of home plate.
Hey, that's an old college shortstop right there.
Tell you what. That's when your hands think for themselves.
Two and 2 to Reddick. Now the infield is in.
Oh, good pitch. And you can see Samardzija wince. He thought he made that front door sinker perfectly. Started it inside. This ball comes back. Watch the movement come back right between the knees. Good frame job there from Posey, and he let plate umpire Blackney have a long look at it. There is the look of disgust from Samardzija. And he wants the strikeout. That infield drawn in.
Belt. 2 down. So on the very next pitch, he gets Reddick. As Reddick breaks his bat, and here's Danny Valencia.
A lot of late life, and it's kind of a fun thing for a pitcher who's been throwing in Arizona all spring long, where you're not getting that little extra hop on your fastball, the little bite on your breaking ball. And tonight, Samardzija is the best late finish on all of his pitches that we've seen him have all spring.
Here's Valencia. 326, 5 home runs this spring.
He can hit.
He can hit. Posey knocks it down. 1 ball and no strikes. Giants played in Sacramento last night and they beat their AAA team. Mike was not there, nor was I, but they said a lot of excitement at Wrigley Field. Talked to Jeremy Affeldt. He was there. He said the atmosphere was fabulous. But the folks of Sacramento did everything right. And tight. 2 balls and no strikes.
Trying to crowd Valencia on the hands. He had 18 home runs last year between Toronto and Oakland. And the A's think that he has the ability to hit 25 or maybe even more. He's got that kind of pop in his bat.
Off the line at first is Belt. And there's a nice healthy rip by Valencia. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Staying on that side of the plate. Let that natural movement run in on the hands. If he gets that ball down around the knees, he'll get synced and it goes down and into a righty away from the lefty. And if it gets up around the belt, it'll fade. It'll run flat in on the hands of a right-handed hitter. And that's where he's trying to locate. All 3 pitches have been in the same spot. Belt high and in.
Three and 1. Stephen Vogt is on deck. Nice crowd today. There are some empty seats. This is an exhibition game. You're not going to see these empty seats on Thursday. But lively nonetheless. Driven to right. Pence there. Side retired. A's waste the leadoff triple. Burns stranded. Buster Posey. He's going to hit in the bottom of the first. And Bruce Bochy's lineup, a lineup you'll likely see in Milwaukee on Monday. It'll be Span, Panic, and Posey. Hunter Pence will be the cleanup hitter. Then Belt, Duffy, Crawford. Samardzija will hit in the 8th spot, and he can hit. And Angel Vacan will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Athletics will be the right-hander Chris Bassett, hard thrower, big guy, 6'5", 220-pounder. Spring training stats: 2-1 with a 5.280 ERA. And just like every power arm, you get your stuff late. 12 strikeouts in 15 1/3. You'll see a fastball that goes low to mid 90s. He's got a really good breaking ball and a changeup. Curveball, slider, changeup combination. More sliders than curveballs. Let's take a look at the A's defensively behind Bassett, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Davis, Burns, and Reddick, the best arm in right field with Reddicks. Simeon and Valencia on the left side. Lowry and Alonso on the right side. Stephen Vogt, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Here's Span. Span to lead it off, facing Chris Bassett, and the pitch is low and in. Span at 245, a couple of home runs, 11 driven in. Two balls and no strikes. As I mentioned, the Giants won 12 games in the Cactus League. They lost 19. A's were 11 and 15.
Span taken all the way, and he will get pitches out of a pitcher. It's got a very definitive way that he gets in that batter's box, gets himself into a set position to hit.
Three and one.
Not much there with the front door sinker, neither for Samardzija, neither for Bassett here.
See if Span gets something to hit. 3-1. He takes it. It's 3-2.
Take it all the way. Joe Panic getting ready. Lineup tonight for the Giants likely to be the starting lineup on Monday for the season opener against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Here's the payoff. Tap slowly to second, and Lowry will make the play. So 7 pitches Span gets out of Bassett.
And that's what you're going to see a lot of up and down this Giants lineup. They all have that ability to make a pitcher work.
Here's Panic. Joe Panic, 290. He had an RBI this spring. He really started out slow, and then he got red hot. And he's gone about it the way you'd like to. It's not that you cool off. It's just that you're not wasting all your hits at the end of spring. In tight to even the count.
Curveball.
The perfect box score number for a hitter in spring is 1 for 4.
Every day?
Yeah. Tap to second. And Lowry to Alonso, 2 outs. And here's Buster Posey. And then when the season starts, 2 for 4 every day.
Well, I think a lot of guys would take that.
Yeah, 2 for 4. Buster Posey hit a home run last night in Sacramento, as did the Brandons. And it right down the pipe. 0-1. Buster at 265. He had a home run. He had 4 driven in during the spring. Tapped over the mound and into center field, a base hit.
Well, time for our Togo's Big Play the Togo's way. You talked about the home runs last night in Sacramento. Buster Posey, 1 of 3, and this one goes out to dead center. And then it was Brandon Crawford who took one out to the pole side of the field in a packed house, and it was Brandon Belt who kind of reached, extended, and he got one out in center as well. That's our Togo's Big Play the Togo's way.
And off the glove of Gorky Hernandez. So here's Pence. And Pence takes low and in. 6 home runs this spring for Hunter Pence. Between Pence and Belt, they had 11 between them. And they had 30 runs batted in between them. strike.
Take a look at the swing for Buster Posey on the base hit. And it's his goal to stay balanced in one piece and use the middle of the field. And he'll take that C&I ground ball.
Absolutely. 1-2.
Good tight little slider right there. So now we've seen all the pitches from Bassett, with the exception of the changeup. And I think it's important you establish to your opponent when you're a starting pitcher that you can get all your pitches over the plate. And he's done that.
On the ground. And Simeon on a bounce to first, but Alonso digs it out. Second inning coming up.
Is brought to you by AAA. Get an insurance quote from AAA by March 31st, and you'll get a free carry-all tote. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA branch for details.
No score. Third and King. The Cove. Cove looks chilly.
It does.
Here's Stephen Vogt. And Samardzija throws a strike. Play ball luncheon today. All in attendance. Gone are the years where you and I would go as players and we'd wonder if Jack Clark was going to be on the bus. There's a soft line drive to Panic for out number 1. Check out the new 4-pack options. The opening day pack guarantees you a ticket to the home opener against the Dodgers. 3 other games at $199. And the Red Sox pack, which includes interleague games against the Blue Jays, Orioles, and of course, what's called the Red Sox pack. sfgiants.com/mini-pack. What were the odds of Jacko? Were they less than 50%?
Zero. They were zero.
There were no odds.
He was not going to go.
Here's Chris Davis.
But today, perfect attendance.
Yeah,
and the guy that stole the show was Jeremy Affeldt. Yeah. He had a question and answer at the end of the lunch, and he just had everybody laughing.
He's in a perfect spot where he knows just about everything about each and every player. He knows all the good things and all the things that make you laugh.
He knows which buttons he can press, and he was pressing them today.
He did it today. It was great. We'll hear from Jeremy. He's going to stop by in the 3rd inning. 1-1 to Chris Davis. Foul back. He takes a healthy rip. It's 1-2. The other highlight, there were a number of highlights, but John Miller and Dave Fleming were going to interview Bruce Bochy, and it turned out that it took Boch about 3 minutes to get from table to the podium where Dave and John were, and John did his best Bruce Bochy imitation. It was hysterical.
John was fantastic, as he always is.
Down low, 2-2.
Because he has, John can impersonate a lot of people. He does the best Vin Scully ever. And he's got a Bruce Bochy down pretty much to a T.
Matter of fact, a couple of times a year on the Bruce Bochy show on KMBR, Bochy isn't even there. John does himself and Boch. It's great.
But it made for a very entertaining afternoon. The attendance was fantastic, and there was a lot of money raised for the Junior Giants program, who are the benefactors of the luncheon.
Here's the payoff to Chris Davis. He got him.
Good, hard slider. And that's a nice kill pitch in a 3-2. We talk about the late finish that he has tonight, and he hasn't seen this all spring like he has seen it tonight. I mean, this is very explosive. Davis, in his mind, he had that thing thinking, I got to protect. That's a strike, and then it just disappeared. Very easy motion, long-legged, but a very compact motion for a guy with just a little bit higher than low 3/4 release.
It appears he finishes up pretty straight up too, to be able to field his position.
Now, we're going to tell you time and time again over the course of the season just how athletic this guy is, and his motion, as compact as it is, and for a guy long-legged and 6'5", I mean, you really fight to be compact in your delivery and be able to repeat your stroke. But watch the finish that he has, and that's what's unusual about a tall pitcher. Usually they follow over towards the first base side if they're right-handed. But he's very square, and he can field his position.
Belt. Plus, if you need a first down, he can go 3rd and 10.
Not a problem.
Giants are coming up. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Brandon Belt.
Presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
It's a 0-0 ball game. Is Bassett facing Brendan Belt in the overshift, and it's low, ball 1. Amy G's got a guest. Amy, who do you have?
We got Dave Righetti, longtime Giants pitching coach. Woohoo! Yeah, Dwayne gave you a woohoo upstairs. No, you can't. Yeah, woohoo. Dave, maybe just share with the fans. Let's start with, Bruce Bochy said before the game that for all intents and purposes, the team's pretty ready to go for opening day. How do you utilize these last few games to help out? What are you looking for?
Well, I've always enjoyed the Bay Bridge series for one reason. You get back here in the atmosphere and the feeling of the games mean something regardless, because it's always a good crowd here and you're playing the A's. So I think it's great ramp up for the ball, for the season. I believe that ever since it started.
You're watching Jeff Samardzija closely, so close he almost forgot about our interview. Mike Krukow was commenting that in this weather he's getting a lot of late life on his pitches. How much do you see change from Arizona to San Francisco?
Oh, Arizona's like playing in Colorado every day. People don't realize the elevation change in Phoenix area. It's over 1,000 feet, so it's a big deal. And when you come here and the guys, even in Sacramento last night, Casilla and Romo are going, my breaking balls are breaking, you know. That's the way it is. And, I think they feel at home here. But plus your feel on the baseball is the key. You got to get used to this, and I'm glad we're here now.
What can you share with fans about the status of Matt Cain and where you guys as coaches feel? Has he been stretched out enough? Could he go when he's supposed to go during opening week?
Sure. I mean, they're healthy. Him and Madison are obviously a little bit behind. In a perfect world, would I like them to have another start or two? Yeah, but they're both ready. They both threw up to 90 pitches the other day, which is plenty. And, I'm sure everybody would like them to be perfect when they leave, but there's no, when you leave spring training, you never know what's going to be happening. The best thing that does happen is Cain, Bumgarner, Cueto, they all went to the minor leagues, and we made sure they got up and down at least 6-7 times. So you can't assume that in any of those crazy games we have in the regular ballpark. So 3 innings is probably a good start. So this is, I feel better about it than I did about a week ago, but I'm greedy. I'd like to see another start out of them, but we're ready.
Greed is good.
Yeah.
Greed is good. Ask Michael Douglas. All right, last question for you. As we get into this season, you've worked with so many talented pitchers. This rotation going into 2016, what can you say about their talent and should they stay healthy, what they're capable of?
I think the biggest key is they're all different. I mean, which we've always liked. Really up until the last couple of years, we turned into a sinker ball team a little bit. We always had a dynamic. Timmy, Sanchez, Bumgarner, Cain, they were all different, right? And same as this group. And they all bring a different attitude, a different way of being competitive and professional. But I like the way they all walk up on a hill and act like it's theirs, you know what I mean? And Cain's getting that back. And when that happens, and if these guys stay healthy, as we all talk about during this time of the year, I think we can do good things. I really do, and I'm excited about it.
Dave Righetti, woohoo! Dwayne.
Yeah, that is a woohoo interview.
Yeah, nice going, Amer the Gamer.
It's 3-2, not a Duffy. I don't think I've ever heard Dave Righetti talk as positive about someone like he did to us about Matt Cain. Like he's talked in a long time.
Well, he always holds back because, like every good coach, they don't want to jinx it. If a guy's off to a good start, if he's feeling healthy, especially if he's coming back from a couple of years of injury, as Cain has done and is trying to do, he just doesn't want to sell out to it because he doesn't want to jinx it. Most superstitious people on the planet are big league coaches and managers.
Belt goes, fouled out of play to Duffy.
He could have stole that standing up.
And is there a balk called? Yeah, Belt staying at second.
Well, maybe Bassett didn't come to a full stop.
So actually the foul ball never happened, right?
Never happened. He could have struck out there. Didn't happen.
Home run?
Happens.
You get your pick, right?
Yeah.
Fouled out. Right. A's fans below us are going, he's got to go back.
All right, let's take a look. See if he comes to a full stop when his hands come set. I didn't see a balk there, to be honest with you.
A little ticky-tacky.
But, you know what? If the umpires call a close balk right now in spring training, they're really doing a pitcher a favor. But I didn't think he did balk.
Fouled again.
The other thing, too, is, some guys can have a little movement with their knee that is a balk move. They'll start the knee before they start the rest of their motion. It works out to be a very good pickoff move. But I don't even think he was doing that. I didn't see the balk.
Duffy on the ground and underneath the glove of Simeon. Affeldt will go to third, and that'll put runners at the corners. I know Simeon made a lot of errors last year, but that'd be hard to give him an error on that one. And they did.
Well, ball hit well. Little two-seam fastball movement running in the inside corner. Duffy goes down and gets it. Just a one-hop topspin seed, and it eats Simeon up. I mean, you just have to just do or die spear at it. Either you're going to get it or you're not. And he wasn't even close to it. That's a rough error.
So here's Crawford. Crawford at .333 during the spring, and he takes a strike. A couple home runs for Brandon Crawford. And tight. 92 from Chris Bassett.
I like to watch the setup of Brandon Crawford. Something he's developed over the years. In a very relaxed position as he gets in the box, and then you watch him gather to get ready. Really coils, but in a compact form.
Line drive, foul. Look out, ball dude. Tried to kick save.
Attababe.
So Attababe almost knocked it down.
Almost.
That would have been a Schinberger. Better off he didn't.
Hey, he had to get a new jersey tomorrow. Schinberger, 39. There's Attababe. That's my kind of guy.
Your old number. Out of play. Heads up. Look at this fan's glove. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Big glove, no cattle.
If you're going to have a glove like that, you got to catch it.
I missed our fans. I really did.
1 and 2. That's some rips from Crawford.
Yeah, good balance. Get both feet underneath the swings, no doubt.
The bigger the glove, the heavier it is. You can't get it up in time. I don't know. The young lady to his right, it's the greatest thing she's ever seen.
Well, she likes guys with big gloves.
Is that nachos or is that a sundae? Hit on the ground, and the play's going to be at home. Belt will be in a rundown, and they'll tag out Belt.
Tell you what, though, that's a pretty good play. Nobody out. As a third base runner, you come down the line. I mean, that'd have been a double play. Alonso had the opportunity to try and get two, and he probably would have been able to do it, but he would have conceded the run. Here, he does not concede the run, but the Giants just lose one out, and they have two runners on.
And Bruce Bochy is explaining to Bell, look, I want you to stop.
Well, Bruce Bochy does not like losing the runner at third. If he stops and they force a rundown, then you might give Duffy, who has good speed, a chance to get to third base.
Here's Samardzija.
And I don't think Bochy was too concerned about the situation in the game tonight, but if it happens in a regular season, he wants it run a different way.
And the look to third. And Samardzija will advance both runners as Pagan's going to come up. So here's Angel Pagan. By the way, I think we both would like to extend our best wishes to Russ Stanley. Russ, the managing vice president of ticket sales and services, had a heart procedure and he's doing great, and we just want to send out our wishes to him. He's awesome.
I just think he's milking it so he doesn't have to do the ticket situation on opening day. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go with that story until we hear different.
But he is missed. One of the all-time great guys.
Here's Pagan, and he slices this one foul. You know, Mario Aliotta will know the true story, so we'll check in with him.
I think Mario's ticked off. He didn't think of it first.
He's probably right. No balls in one strike. And that pitch is high. 27th season with the Giants. Russ. 1 ball and 1 strike. Not very high, but high enough. His vote's going to go out and have a word.
Well, they're not changing the signs, but I don't know if he got crossed up there or not. .25 pitch inning for Bassett.
On the ground to third. Valencia kicks it around, and they just get him. And that'll end the inning. Third inning coming up. We'll have a guess. It's 0-0. Tonight, you need a special event package. It's going to include a ticket to the game and a collector's edition Giants-themed Year of the Monkey figurine. 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com/special events. Here's Yonder Alonso to lead things off. Is Jeff Samardzija to the plate, and a call strike. And Jeremy Affeldt is here. Jeremy, welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you see how hard we have to work while you were having so much fun as a player.
No, you know, honestly though, I think it's actually easy. I can judge and all kinds of stuff from up here, you know.
Yes, you can.
Condemn, tell everybody how hard is it, you know.
Well, the only thing, they have the velocity gun turned off, so people in the ballpark don't know how, but we do have the velocity gun here. Anyway, so you came back today, you had the luncheon, and everybody looked like they were happy to see you.
Oh, it was a good time. Had a good time with the guys and being able to razz them and get some guys back for, I heard they buried me at the Fan Fest thing, you know, so I got some payback a little bit. It was good.
You know, so the guy that got you, excuse me, Mike, at the night we did our show, which is, what was that called? The
City Hall?
Town Hall.
Town Hall, yeah.
It was Lopez.
Yeah.
He was really the only one that hurt you.
And he wasn't even up on the panel.
No, he got you hard. Little flare to left. Racing in is Pagan, and he makes the catch. So a nice play by Angel Pagan.
Yeah, it's nice to have a former center fielder playing left field. And, you know, Pagan has fun with it. He is a showman. He likes to make plays like this. He likes to show off. But he really has some nice closing speed here as he catches it about a foot off the ground. And right away, he and Samardzija with eye contact, and Samardzija let him know, thanks. You the man.
So here's Marcus Semien.
Tip of the cap. So, Jeremy, was there a point this spring where you were missing it?
You know, I don't think so. I think, you know, my body didn't hurt all spring. So it was kind of good to go through a whole spring. By the time, you know, April's coming around now, it basically allowed me to feel good. And all of a sudden April's here and my body still feels good. And I'm not in the training room and I don't have a, you know, body aching everywhere. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going down and coaching a little bit as well for the week that I was here. I don't think Bochy really enjoyed it that much. The second I walked in the dugout, we walked 3 guys, gave up 4, and we lost 8 straight. So he told me I had to leave.
And he blamed you.
That's right.
You know, you said something interesting, though. You said before the ballgame that maybe it's going to be October when you really miss it.
Yeah, you know, you know, you guys were just talking about, you know, Mike, you were talking about, you know, just different, maybe not spring, you know, opening day a little bit, and come September, and it might be true. I just had so much fun in the playoffs that I think for me, watching this team, which I believe they should be in the playoffs, I think they have that good of a team. I know it's way early, but man, I think that's going to be a rough one, is watching these guys in the playoffs, because I had so much fun playing with this team in the playoff runs that it was an amazing experience. I just, the electricity, and I think that the competitiveness was up a little bit more, and man, I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, your numbers in the playoffs were historic, and I could see why you would definitely miss the playoffs. But the energy, you were talking about the energy in this ballpark, what it does to opponents. Tell us about what our fans, what you told us before the game about the energy and how it affects the opponents, especially in a playoff situation.
I think it just makes them tighten up. You know, I think the biggest thing for an athlete, especially a baseball player, is you have to play loose, because the tighter you get, your injuries go up, your bat speed slows down, your arm speed slows down, you make more mistakes. You know, even fielding errors. You know, everything, the way you're judging, the way balls are hit at you, all that stuff kind of, when you tighten up, it gets affected. And when you come in with a ballpark with the electricity that this ballpark, I think, provides, you see how veterans in the playoffs tighten up. I mean, you saw that they made mistakes that they probably don't make, or they're swinging at pitches that they don't normally swing at because they're trying too hard, and they're so much electricity, and it's just such a powerful environment that we're used to playing it every night. We're getting, whatever, 40-some thousand people every night, you know, that you just come in and it steps it up. And I think that's what makes it so hard to beat, especially at home in the playoffs, is the electricity and the emotion that we play with and the fans come and cheer with is amazing.
This is Billy Burns. It's been 0-2 for a while as he keeps spoiling Samardzija pitches. It's a 0-0 ball game. We're with Jeremy Affeldt, who'll stick with us for another half inning, and the 0-2 pitch, and he finally gets him, and that'll end the inning. So to open up the inning, it was Angel Pagan taking a hit away from Yonder Alonso. We will head to the bottom of the third. It remains 0-0. Jeremy Affeldt with us. It'll be the top of the order for the Giants. It'll be Span, Panic, and Posey facing Chris Bassett here on a very cool, what is it, Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night. Look out as that one goes to the backstop.
I think guys
feet right there, huh?
Man, I almost hit him in the legs. And guys with speed, they'd rather get hit in the shoulder than the legs.
I had a good conversation with Span today. We were talking, and he was like, "Hey man, that series that we had in the playoffs was awesome." I was like, "Yeah, that 18-inning game. Thanks for letting us win the ring, man. It was great. Way to hand that game to us a couple times."
Like 0 for 6.
Yeah.
I think he was.
How did he handle that conversation?
Yeah. Who brought it up, by the way?
I kind of did, you know, because he said, "Man, that's a nice ring." And I said, "Yeah, it's courtesy of the 18-inning game you gave us."
1 ball and 1 strike to Span. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, there are people in Washington watching this game. I just want you to know. Throw it out there.
Well, thank you all of DC for coming out and watching the 18-inning game.
Panic to follow. On the ground, this will be Lowry. Well, when Jeremy Affeldt showed up in spring training, Bruce Bochy pulled everybody together and said, "You know what? This is a World Series hero. Let's show some highlights of the great career of Jeremy Affeldt." Okay, Scud. Okay, another one. Uh-oh, Eckstein.
Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Hey, you said you could hit.
That's cheating.
Well, that's just a few of some of the highlights that our manager picked out. And did they get you?
Yeah,
kind of.
It did. Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be some scuds, but some of those in there were so bad. I actually walked away thinking, I don't even know how I lasted as long as I did in the big leagues if I'm throwing stuff like that.
And it turned out that Buster was on the back end of every one of them.
You know it's bad when he has to stand up to catch it. It's not even a high heater. It's he stood up to catch a ball that bounced first.
Hey, it happens. It was part of the beauty of your style.
Changing eye level the other way.
But you'd come back with the next pitch and you'd paint that. You know, that's a rough at bat.
Yeah, that's how I thought about it too. I'm going to throw this one in the grass and then I'm going to paint it on the black. Just setting him up. I just forgot to inform Buster that I was going to throw it in the grass is the problem.
I mean, were there times when you were surprised at it?
Man, I threw some curveballs that were so bad sometimes. I mean, I would look in the dugout at Rags and be like, "Hey, you want to warm someone else up? Because that is so bad. You might need to send me down to work on that." You know, I need to go down to AAA to work on my breaking ball.
Here's the 2-2 to Panic. And Panic takes strike 3 call. Well, we have a lot of memorable highlights, but this is one that we'll never forget. So Sanchez and Utley have a problem, right?
Yeah.
So now we pretty much know that Sanchez is coming out of the game, and Mark Gardner, true story, right? He said, "No, you got to stay."
That's right.
Because it's your job to get out there.
Yep. He said, "You're coming in." He said, he just told me, he said, "You can't go out there and fight and argue, and you got to warm up because this is the big inning right here, and you're going in anyway." And I actually wanted to go out there. I think the verbal abuse I was getting from Philly was so bad, I was starting to tear up a little bit.
Yeah, they could be a bit harsh.
Oh, man.
Even made you feel better once that series was over.
Oh,
didn't it?
Man, breath of fresh air. And I know I did that article on one of the, the 5 things I was going to not miss, and Philly was one of them. And I remember getting into the MLB Network to do some stuff, and DeRosa was like, "Hey, you might not want to go into Philly for a while. I think they have a wanted poster up on every airport and train station in the area."
Oh, look out. Is that breaking ball's high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, they won't give them, I'd say, about 11, 12 years, and they'll forget about it. But that was a great night. And the Giants clinched the pennant in Philadelphia that night, and what a party.
Oh, man.
At the hotel after the game.
2-1 pitch to Buster Posey.
But I mean, that's another situation where I know Bum, for Game 7 in 2014. But if people forget that he came in after me in that game too and had a runner on third with 1 out. I mean, he got some big outs right there in that game. I mean, that guy, he was a big part of that game too. I don't think anybody, well, some people might remember it, but it's not really talked about.
Here's 2014, Game 7. And of course, we'll play the.
Doc Crawford paid right here. Look at that, huh?
Is that the play you were talking about where he got the extension because of that?
That's pretty, and I got no tip for that either. And that one. I mean.
Oh man, how good did you feel after that?
Oh, you know, when they told me I was done, I kind of actually had a sigh of relief. You know, that game was so intense. You know, so it was.
All right,
that bum picked me up there.
Relax, we're kicking you out. Thanks for stopping by.
Home leaders in the 2015 season. Brandon Belt hit .314. That led everybody. Brandon Crawford had 8 home runs. That led everybody. Buster Posey with 43 RBIs. Bumgarner with 9 wins. His starter ERA under 2 at 1.94. And George Cantos out of the bullpen, an ERA of 1.38. And those were your 2015 Giant home leaders in our McDonald's True Stories.
All right. Here's Chris Coughlin. Big swing and a miss.
Good split. He's got a feel of all his pitches tonight.
Josh Reddick, Danny Valencia, 4th inning. So Jeremy Affeldt, thanks for stopping by. I don't know. I think guys that pick that it's their choice to hang it up, they seem to enjoy it a little bit more.
Well, and I think he was being honest when he said he doesn't have any pain this spring. I mean, you play as long as he did and get up as many times as he did, you're going to pay a price for it somewhere down the line. And the last couple of years of a big league pitcher's career, they're not that much fun.
No. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Plus, you'd like to save a couple throws for your kids.
Overhand.
Overhand throws.
Got him. Let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Well, guys, you just got done with Jeremy Affeldt, and Dwayne, you reported that the players were happy to see him. I have a very different report. I took notes at the luncheon, and here's what I got. Buster Crawford did not cheer for him when he was announced. Javier Lopez told him to beat it. Matt Cain threw some hand sanitizer at him, and Matt Duffy handed him a piece of gum and said, "You need this." all, of course, because they love him and they miss him. They're going to miss him a lot this season, and their loss is our gain because Jeremy joins Comcast Sportsnet as an analyst for our Giants pre- and post-game live shows. We're very happy to have him, Dwayne.
Josh Reddick, no balls and 1 strike. Yes, we are. Man, we had no idea what we were getting when Affeldt came over.
Well,
he
what he
threw
really
pretty hard with a big curveball, right?
Well, we thought he was a 2-pitch guy. We had no idea he had as much sink as he had. He could get the ground ball coming into an existing inning like he could, and we absolutely had no clue as to how clutch he was in October, which really is the month that will go on to define his career. He was brilliant in every October.
2-1 to Reddick, who bounced out in the first inning. No score. On deck, Danny Valencia. Center field. Struck well. Span. Yeah, 2012. Affeldt came in against the Tigers in Game 4. He walked the first guy. And then what'd he do?
Struck out the side. Sit down.
The next 3.
3 in a row. I mean, it was just one great performance after another if you look at his career in postseason.
Game 4 was significant because had they not won that game, if they'd have gone to Game 5, the weather came in and it stayed like snow and rain for like a week.
Yeah, and then they would have had to come back with Verlander, and they talked about it.
Absolutely.
You know what? This is where we need to do it now, and they did it.
That was a Matt Cain start and a Marco Scudero base hit to knock in Ryan Theriot. Who'd have thought?
And Sergio Romo came in to close it out.
And Theriot was what? The designated hitter. Bruce Bochy puts him in as a designated hitter.
And the only time in his career, and it happens to be the deciding game of the World Series.
In the last baseball play that he makes, he slides home with the winning run and then he retires.
That's a good way to go out.
I think he'd won the year before with the Cardinals, right?
He did.
2-2. I hope he's listening because I will not forget that guy.
No, he was fantastic. And the stuff that he wore the last 2 months of the season were hard to describe. But every day he'd show up with something weirder and it would loosen up the troops.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. Hunter Pence is going to lead things off. 5 strikeouts for Samardzija. It's 0-0.
to you by the law offices of Stephen Moskowitz. Aggressive, accessible, experienced tax lawyers. Call Moskowitz LLP at 888-TAX-DEAL.
No score as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It has been a very well-pitched game here tonight between Jeff Samardzija and Chris Bassitt. Just 2 hits allowed for Samardzija, the first hitter he faced in the game. Billy Burns, a triple who did not score. And for Chris Bassitt, he allowed just a 2-out single in the first inning. And this is what he has thrown tonight. Mostly fastballs, which is what you're going to see a lot of. The curveball, slider, and really the changeup, he is throwing about equally.
Big swing and a miss by Hunter Pence. Pence bounced out to short to end the first. Oh, 0-2 to Hunter Pence. Outside, 1-2.
Trying to backdoor that little sinker at 93. Bassitt knows he's got a good fastball, and he has spotted it on both sides of the plate well tonight.
That foul. By the way, remember I mentioned there were some empty seats? And not so much now. They've really filled in nicely. Plus, if Russ Stanley is watching that, I want him to be very calm. It's full.
The stress of a guy that's in charge of tickets, I can't even fathom what that is.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Plus, I don't think I've ever heard Russ Stanley say no. Russ, I've got 12 people that need seats. It's 10 minutes before game time. What do you got?
Yeah, behind the dugout.
Not a problem.
2-2 pitch to Pence. Pence lines this one, and it's going to sail over the head of Davis. Pence is going to have to hurry, but Davis throws a curveball into the shortstop, and it's a double for Hunter Pence.
That might be the best breaking ball we've seen all spring. The one that Davis threw in from left field. I think that must have slipped out of his hand. But you want some loud contact? This gets out to the wall in a hurry. There we go. It just scoots right out of his hand, and
I've thrown many of those, and it didn't squirt out of my hand.
You got all of it.
It was my best bolt. Here's Belt. Belt drew a walk in the second. Look out, off the screen, off the new screen that protects the folks over by the on-deck circle and towards the dugout. It's cut at an angle, and that one hit right off the screen.
Now, as mandated by Major League Baseball, every ballpark had to upgrade their screens to make them safer, to protect more of the people. They go dugout to dugout, and all those folks who were exposed now are protected. And it took the Giants a while to figure out how they were going to do it. They were very concerned about changing anything in this ballpark.
Yeah.
A lot of people who had those seats and have had them for years, they weren't happy about it, but it is going to protect them from not just baseballs, but broken bats, and I think that's another big significance of the screen protection.
Belt holds up. It's 2-2.
That section right there last year,
exposed. Well, for the last 16 years here. Out of play. 17th year here. You believe that?
It's hard to believe. When you said that today at lunch, and I said, wow, has it been 17? Blink of an eye.
So it wasn't that long ago we were walking over to an office that the Giants had while the stadium was being built, and we were given a hard hat by Shane Adam to take a tour, and you had to have a hard hat. And we looked around this park and we thought, it's going to be great, but Well, the ball's going to fly out of right field.
We really thought it was going to be Coors Field West. But little did we know, this is one of the greatest places ever to pitch.
Belt rolls this one off his foot as he leaves the bat in the batter's box. The problem is when we came into the park for the first time, we immediately went to where the right field foul pole was going to be. And then you stand there and you look at where home plate is, and that's where you get the perception of, ooh, this is going to be ugly for pitchers, but not true.
Well, then the very first game ever played here, there were 6 home runs hit, 3 by the Dodgers shortstop Kevin Elster, who would usually hit about 5 or 6 a year, and we're thinking, there you go.
Yep. And the Giants started out 0-5 here. Belt takes low.
Nice at bat.
So here's Duffy. Anyway, that was like 19 years ago. So that was Mike Zepchinski. There's Duffy. Duffy hit the ball hard, but underneath the glove of Simeon. Simeon was charged with an error. Here he taps this one foul, and it's 0-1.
A lot of balls hit on the ground tonight against Bassett. I mean, he's got a nice little sink going and opened up that at bat with a good two-seamer. So both pitchers tonight really enjoying the humidity and the heavier air here at AT&T. Much different than what they saw all spring in Arizona.
Double play ball. Simeon to Lowry to Alonso, who digs it out. 2 down, and Pence moves to third.
Alonso's really made some nice digs out of the dirt tonight at first base.
Yeah, he's making friends with those middle infielders.
Perfect feed right at the chest, across the bag, kind of across the body. And I think Lowry had it. He could have played this a little bit differently, taken a little more time. As it was, he really had to rely on a nice defensive play from Alonso at first base to complete the deuce.
So here's Crawford. Crawford reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Down the left field line, foul. Boat's going to go out and have a word.
Looked like Bassett may have tripped and stumbled a bit there. Just watch the follow through of Bassett, the pitcher. Yeah, left spike just sort of gave way. We're good.
Yeah. What would somebody say to Norm Sherry? Anybody see that?
It's a great Norm Sherry. Norm Sherry, the pitching coach for us in the mid '80s, Roger Craig's right-hand man, and an ex-catcher.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
Not the most graceful guy.
No.
60,000 people at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. He comes out and runner at first and second, 1-run ball game, 1 out. He comes out with his rubber spikes, catches the turf, stumbles on his belly right at the base of me, and I'm standing up there on the mound, and I'm looking down at him. His head's right down there by my feet. He looks up at me. Think anybody saw this? No, I think you're good, Norm. Got up and walked right back to the dugout with that little half jog. I mean, that was the whole meeting. Next pitch, double play, out of the inning. Best mound visit in the history of baseball.
He had the magic working. What a time to do it in, too.
Philly, yeah.
Nobody would ever say anything.
No. It was a 60,000 person horse laugh. And they were all pointing their fingers at him. the Philadelphia fingers.
Crawford. High pop-up foul and on a play. Oh, yeah.
You think he's happy? Yeah, you and you and you and me.
Meanwhile, lady got hit right in the shoulder. This guy is celebrating a little too much.
Well, yeah, with a cow, you need to get her some help.
2-2.
I think he needs to think about giving her the baseball.
I think he does.
That's a little bit too much of the thrill of victory. Well, you got the agony of the feed sitting up row in front of you. Because you can't be doing that.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Read the room.
I think she's okay.
Yeah.
Gave her big.
Base hit. Giants take the lead.
They kept trying to elevate with that hard fastball up across the letters. And Crawford made him pay, and that's the first run tonight for either team. What a nice at bat that was. All year long last year, when he had his breakout year and led the team in home runs, we talked about how balanced he was and how he always seemed to have his feet underneath him. Never really got out on his front foot. Look at the balanced body right between the feet. A perfect distribution of weight through the swing.
So here's Samardzija. He put on a pretty good show in batting practice today. He and Bumgarner can put on a show. Even Heston today was. Kane, he hit the ball well. Peavy did. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, you know what I like about Bam Mullins, who is the Giants hitting instructor, Steve Decker, his assistant, is they'll spend as much time as a pitcher wants to spend with him. And a lot of hitting coaches, they don't have time for pitchers.
It's a waste of time.
But not those two guys, and then they'll help any hitter that wants to get better, including the guys who are on the hill. And they take advantage of it. There's Bam Mullins.
That'll do it. Giants on the board first. 5th inning coming up.
is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
1-0 Giants as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Samardzija with 5 strikeouts.
Take a look at the night for Samardzija. 54% fastballs. The slider's been good. The cut fastball has been good. The split's been good. I mean, he's got all of his weapons going. And we talked about the consistency of the late finish on his pitches, more so than we saw at any other time this spring with all of his previous starts in Arizona.
So here's Vogt. And a strike. Vogt hit a soft line drive to Joe Panik to open up the 2nd inning. And he pops this one down the left field line. That should sail into the seats, and it does. Samardzija will have the Wednesday day game, getaway day game in Milwaukee. Bumgarner, Cueto, and then Samardzija, and then Peavy will open up against the Dodgers on Thursday. Those will be games that count. And that's what we're looking forward to.
We're looking forward to games that count. And so are the players.
Yep. Yes, they are. Vogt chases that high fastball and pulls it foul.
Although I do like the point that Dave Righetti, the Giants the pitching coach, made about how he likes the Bay Bridge series because this is more than just a spring training game. I mean, it's more than just a spring training game when these teams meet at any time, of course. But it kind of intensifies the group as you get to the bell ringer on Monday.
One more game tomorrow night here, and then the day game in Oakland on Saturday. Into right center field, and Span will track it down.
Well, if you're looking for the best coverage of San Francisco Giants baseball, log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants' upcoming season. You get breaking news, videos, special features, and much, much more. Only on csnbayarea.com.
There's Alex.
Concentrating.
Yes, he is. So here's Chris Davis. Davis takes in tight for a ball.
Last year with the Milwaukee Brewers, 27 home runs. And that is not a fluke. He has got some pop. And you say, well, hey, Milwaukee's a live yard. Well, it is. It doesn't matter for this guy. I mean, he can hit him out of any ballpark, any field. He's got that kind of power. And he's unique in another way in that he's got good speed to go with that power.
(3-0) to Chris Davis.
And he will swing if he gets his pitch here. Straight away in the outfield, slight pull on the left side, big gap right by first base from Belt. Starting to see some more dramatic defensive sets here as we start to get closer to Monday. opening day.
So Samardzija comes back after falling behind 3-0.
With 2 strikes tonight, he has been really good about mixing up his pitches. Fastball, slider, the cut, he's been riding those pretty hard. Just 4 splits he's thrown, but he's throwing everything. And that's the significant thing about those numbers.
Will Belt have a play? He does.
Nice comeback from the 3-0 count for Samardzija.
He's got a pretty good reach.
Yeah, that's a boarding house reach. All right, find the front of the fence there, lean over and use that reach, gather it up, piece of cake.
So here's Jed Lowry. 1-0 Giants here in the 5th. Lowry started to go and holds up. He bounced out to Belt in the 2nd inning.
And that's a first pitch split. Samardzija's got a nice rhythm going here with Posey. I mean, he's retired 14 guys in a row.
Nope. Samardzija coming in, 2 balls and no strikes, and Lowry fouls it out of play.
Nice play. Bring your glove. Did not see anywhere near the amount of mitts in spring training that we see here tonight.
Oh, that's so true. 2-2.
He has to be having a ball tonight with what he's able to do with the baseball. I mean, it's this guy here, Dave Righetti, is enjoying every pitch as well.
Foul back.
Samardzija has 71 pitches, and I mean, it's a chance that they may wind him, shut him down after this inning. Last start before his first start, which will be Wednesday in Milwaukee, getaway day.
That got Posey. It stays at 2-2.
And you think about how this game started. First guy he faced, Billy Burns, hits a triple off the right center field wall. And he leaves him standing there, and it was, now it's 14 hitters later. He hadn't been in a stretch position since the first.
Yonder Alonso on deck. 2 outs. A bit outside, 3-2.
But just not by a whole bunch. When you have some count leverage on top of a hitter, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, and you're throwing her out the play, that's where you want to miss right there. You're making that hitter think. So even when he's not in the strike zone, he's making a good purpose pitch with his location.
Crawford out, Pagan in. And look out, it's going to be Crawford who makes the catch. Samardzija, another 1-2-3 inning. Angel Pagan's going to lead things off. The 10th. On Thursday, the 7th, the first 40,000 fans are going to receive an opening week calendar presented by AT&T. And join us for post-game fireworks on opening night, the 8th, presented by Hanwha Q Cells. Saturday, the 9th, the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a Beat LA flag courtesy of Coca-Cola. sfgiants.com/tickets. Mark Zebchinski is the new pitcher. Angel Pagan had the helmet on that you would wear if you were going to hit left-handed, so he went back with the new pitcher and got a different helmet.
Zebchinski's numbers this spring have been very good. He's a 6-year veteran, 4-pitch pitcher out of the stretch, or out of the bullpen. He originally came up with Toronto as a starter, and he can throw 2 types of fastball, changeup, curveball, slider.
Skied into left center field. Burns on the move, and Burns will track it down. 1 out. So Pagan's retired, and here's Span. So here's Span. Span's bounced out twice to Jed Lowry. And Span bounces this one slowly foul to Alonso, who tags out Billy Hayes.
There's Billy Hayes.
There's Billy.
Giants have activity in their bullpen right now. It's Jake Dunning, right-hander.
Who has opened up some eyes. Not on the roster. But Bruce Bochy said, we want to see more of this guy.
Well, he's had a great spring. He's really been one of the great stories. Talk about a lot of the young arms that Bruce Bochy watched and was impressed with that just came up out of the Giants organization one after another. And then Jake Dunning, who's a guy that worked himself through a couple of injuries, he really has put himself back on the map. He fell off the 40-man roster, but now he's back in the plans.
1-2. 2-2. 2-2.
Jake Dunning, Art Gardner on the right.
Well, he does look bigger. I'll say that for him. Full count. Zebchinski's going to rub up the baseball. There's Panic. Tap foul.
So I have to believe the way Jake Dunning's heating up that Jeff Samardzij's night's over. And boy, was he impressive.
I would agree with you on that. And the walk.
Nice at bat.
Here's Joe Panic.
What Samardzij did tonight was really command all of his movement, all of his pitches. He threw everything in 3-2 counts, threw everything in a first pitch count, but just exceptional finish on everything that he was throwing. Good snap on the slider, good fade on the cut, Good sink in the sinker. I mean, everything was working. Great way to end the spring training, and that's definitely a confident building start going into the season. And confidence is what you're looking for this time of year.
Panik is 0 for 2.
And the A's can say the same thing about Chris Bassett. I mean, he threw the ball well tonight.
Slowly hit, and it is going to be fair. So Panik's out. And that'll bring up Buster Posey. And Bob Melvin's coming out.
And Melvin is going to play this game like it's a regular game. I mean, he's going to use his staff as if this one is going to be in the win-loss column.
So Liam Hendricks is coming in. It's 1-0 Giants.
Area is brought to you by AAA. Get an insurance quote from AAA by March 31st, and you'll get a free carry-all tote. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA branch for details.
1-0 Giants. Giants with Span at second base with 2 outs. Buster Posey is going to face Liam Hendricks.
Take a look at the numbers for Liam Hendricks this spring. He really only had the 1 bad outing. But we saw him in Scottsdale, and he was throwing well. This is a guy they gave up a good arm for, Jesse Chavez, to Toronto to beef up their bullpen, and he's got great stuff. Mid-90s stuff, good curveball changeup. Native of Australia, Perth, Australia.
And Span's going to go to third.
That's got to be a pass ball there. Hendricks in his 3rd year at the big league level. Originally got to the big leagues with the Minnesota Twins. Take a look at the breaking ball. Did that hit the ground? I think it did. Then it would be a
I'm not
pitch.
erasing it.
I thought it was on the fly.
That's all right. I'm not going to erase it. It's Span at third, a ball and a no strikes to Buster Posey. And a called strike. She may have thought it was low. Line drive, right field, base hit. Reddick knocks it down and then knocks the ball away from him. Posey's going to go into second. It's 2-0. So here's Hunter Pence.
Set up in the outside corner. And he misses it right over the middle of the plate. Posey inside out. So 2 hits tonight, one right up the middle. Here going the opposite way in an RBI situation. And he gets another 90 feet as the ball kicks up on Reddick.
So here's Pence. And Pence looks at a strike. Pence doubled and scored in the 4th. That got Vogt. May have got him, bounced up and hit him in the neck.
That was a scud right there, curveball. He did well just to get a body in front of this thing. That did not feel good. Ball bouncing about 1.5 feet out in front of home plate. No, he is not happy about that.
Hendricks spears it and throws him out on that in the inning. Giants a walk, a wild pitch and a double, then it's 2-0 San Francisco. It'll be on April 18th through the 21st. The Giants invite all students, alumni, and fans of Stanford, Cal Berkeley, and SF State to our college nights at AT&T Park. Each special event ticket package includes a game ticket and then a limited edition co-branded SF college cap. sfgiants.com/special events. Those were a hit last year, and Giants brought them back. 2-0 Giants. Jake Dunning is the new pitcher.
Yeah, he's been a great story this spring. He was in the big leagues in 2013, made 29 appearances that year and had an ERA of 2.84. So he was on the map, and then he got injured, and he got injured a lot. And he went up falling off the 40-man. This spring he came back healthy, and he has been spectacular. Hard thrower. You'll see mid-90s fastballs, and he's 3 or 4 different types of movements he can throw at you. But right now he's got a good command of all of them, and he's throwing with a lot of confidence. Big guy, 6'4", 190-pounder. Was a 33rd round pick in 2009.
And Alonso takes high. He hit a ball to left field that Pagan took a base hit away from him in the third inning. Samardzija allowed a hit to Billy Burns to open up the game, and then he retired 15 straight.
He was spectacular. And we talked about it this spring about how he's going to love pitching here. He knew exactly what he was getting into signing that contract with the Giants, getting over here, how good this ballpark was. Great environment to pitch, to play. And he's got to be thrilled with how well he threw the ball tonight. Very confident going into his first start Wednesday.
Ball back. And we got a winner.
A colorful guy.
One and two. Posey set up away. 2-2. Marcus Semien on deck, and then Billy Burns.
Yep, he's in charge of the phone tonight. Checking how the stock market did today.
Here's the 2-2. Skied out to right center field. Hunter Pence.
Good 2-2 changeup right there. Let's take a look at Jeff Samardzija tonight. He's our Ford right choice. And we talk about it. He faced Billy Burns first at bat, gave up a triple, and then sat down 15 in a row with 5 strikeouts. And these are the strikeout payoff pitches. Boy, just nice finish, using both sides of the plate, elevating fastballs, whatever he wanted to do, he was doing it with all of his movement. And Dave Righetti's got to be thrilled. That's a Ford right choice.
Off the end of the bat, Pagan racing over, and Pagan will make the catch. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, we talked to Dave Righetti earlier in the game, and he kind of gave fans perspective on what he's looking at regarding pitching these last few games. Well, Bruce Bochy is using these last few games before opening day to tweak that lineup and see what he likes. Tonight, for example, he put Duffy in the 6th hole to break up the Brandon lefties. He wanted to take a look at that and see how it was going to work out. He also went on to say that he feels this season's lineup, he could draw it out of a hat, gentlemen, and be happy with it. He thinks it's that strong. Dwayne?
Yep. Well, you got a guy that led the team in home runs, and he's hitting 7th, and that's Brandon Crawford tonight. So here's Burns.
Had a good changeup from Dunning to get that first pitch strike.
Low.
And Buster likes it. I mean, he's riding that horse right now. I mean, that was the payoff pitch in a 2-2 count that got the fly ball down to the left field line off the bat of Semien. And here he opens up this at bat to Burns. 2 good changeups. Three changeups.
Two balls and a strike. Pagan again. And a nice inning for Jake Dunning. Giants are coming up. Bell to lead it off.
is brought to you by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Giants on top, 2-0. Only 5 hits in this game. And it'll be Liam Hendricks who's going to go after Belt, Duffy, and Crawford. And then we'll see who he will face after that. The overshift is on for Belt. Valencia, the only defender on the left side of the diamond. And Belt fouls it in that direction, and it's 0-1.
And that's the first chance for our new piece of screen
to do its job.
A little section down here that kind of runs off. Not all of our season ticket holders who sit down there in what was previously an exposed area are that enthusiastic about the new screens. But I think given time, they'll come around, hopefully.
Well, the Giants were not given a choice.
And it's mandated. It's the league. I mean, it's not their fault. I mean, the league said, that's it. Rob Manfred, the Giants, or the commissioner of baseball, said, we're going to protect our fans.
Got him. Hendricks with his first strikeout. And here's Duffy. Brandon Belt shaking his head as he walks back.
Yeah, he's had a great spring. 19 RBIs and 44 at bats. We'll take that.
Absolutely.
Any day of the week.
Duffy taps it foul past Crawford. Tomorrow, Jake Peavy against Kendall Graveman. And then Saturday in Oakland, it'll be Matt Cain against Felix Doubront. Night game tomorrow, day game on Saturday. On to Milwaukee on Sunday.
Back to your old stomping grounds.
The old stomping grounds, Milwaukee.
Are you getting a few ticket requests for the 3-game series?
You know what? When I was a player, I dish it off to my dad. Now we dish it off to my sister. Both tough.
Nice.
Both very tough. Inside, 1-2.
A good pitch right there on an 0-2 count. That's how you want to miss when you have advantage.
Duffy into the gap. Davis knocks it down. And a double for Duffy.
Yeah, that's nice at bat. He was down the count 0-2. Took a real nice 0-2 pitch. And they got a breaking ball. And that wasn't a hanger either. This is just down and in. Straight over the top, knee high. He goes down there and beats it. Finds that gap in left center. That's a nice balance through the swing. I mean, this is the thing about Duffy. You just see him use his lower body so well to put his hands in position to beat a pitch.
We were messing with Bam Bam Mullins during batting practice, and Duffy was taking his swings, and he was just hitting the ball all over the place. So I asked Bam Bam, "Did you take credit for that swing?" He goes, "Nope." He said he had that swing when he got to the big leagues. It's just getting a little bit better. So I was giving Bam Bam a chance, right? He said, "Nope, I didn't have a lot to do with that one."
No, I mean, Duffy came up here with some credentials. Double-A, I mean, he was lighting it up. He never played one game at the AAA level. Was the 25th guy to make the club last year. And 1 year later, he not only is with the big league club starting third baseman, but he's hitting in the first group. Him, Buster Posey, Hunter Pence. That is the lead group of batting practice. And that's the group to be in.
High and foul and out of play. We know the Giants open up in Milwaukee. The A's will open up at home against the White Sox. And for the A's, that'll be a 4-game series. The Giants and A's will actually play in town at the same time on April 7th. It'll be the home opener for the Giants, and the A's will have a getaway game against the White Sox, both day games. And the A's will head to Seattle. Crawford attacks that high fastball. It stays at 2-2.
Little tomahawk swing right there. Fastball across the letters. A's have pitched him up all night.
Hit on the ground to Simeon, who throws out Crawford, 2 outs, and on the play, Duffy moves to third. Adrianza is going to pinch hit.
Adrianza has had a nice spring. 24 games hitting the .333 clip, but it's such a different Adrianza than we've seen in previous springs because of his size. I mean, he really has thickened up. Strength level completely different than it has been previous seasons as he has matured.
Adrianza down the left field line, a long run for Davis, and it's going to be foul. The forecast Monday in Milwaukee. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. High of 36.
Yeah.
And a low of 29. 20-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah.
Little flip job into short. Base hit. Duffy scores 3-0. And it says no snow.
So clear for all 3 days?
Clear, 41 the next day, 44 the next day.
Can't wait to get there.
Can't wait.
Not really a problem when you have a dome stadium like Miller Park in Milwaukee. You don't worry about it.
Wednesday, 80% chance of rain.
Bring it.
Getaway day.
Bring it on. It's the beauty of a dome. No rain delays. Go get him.
Go get him. Here's Pagan with Adrianza at first.
It's be a nice, comfortable 70 degrees in the building.
Anyway, it's indoors, but you do have to go outside, so bring your jacket.
Got it.
And a strike.
Adrianza can steal a base. Not a bad opportunity to do it here.
Pagan spins around. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If you're going to steal a base, though, I mean, you're going to have to get a good jump, and it's not an easy thing to do. Liam Hendricks, the pitcher for the A's, he's very quick home. That last delivery was 1.01 seconds. 1.25 seconds is normal. So if you're under that, you're quick. Oh, by the way, he's got a pretty good move to first. Not Johnny Cueto-like, but pretty good.
Did he get a couple more last night?
He got 3 guys last night. Johnny Cueto picked off 3.
So 3 and 2 with Span on deck.
It's great we having that conversation with John Miller as we rode to in the car to the play ball luncheon this afternoon. We were talking about Johnny Cueto with 3 pickoffs, and he said, well, I remember when Tippy Martinez with the Baltimore Orioles had 3 in 1 inning.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have a good move, is what he added. Well, see, John remembers stuff like that.
Up the middle. Off of Hendricks. Everybody's safe. So the hitter's going to be Span. Bob Melvin was headed out. He stopped, and now he's going to come out with the trainer.
Well, and Hendricks is one of his guys in that pin, and they don't want to mess with him. Looked like it caught him right on the calf of his right leg. And that's it. They're bringing him out.
Well, we have Span, a left-handed hitter, coming up. A lefty will be coming in. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. You have come to expect and much more. New low price for 2016. You can watch every out-of-market game of all 30 teams live and in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv. And if you want more details, that's where you go.
Patrick Schuster, the new pitcher now for Oakland.
And he'll be facing Denard Span. We're in the 6th inning. A run in for the Giants.
Schuster, a sidewinder. 2 types of fastball and a flat breaking ball, which is what you get from the side.
Center field. This should do it, and it does. Giants pick up the run through 6, 3-0 San Francisco. is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Well, Jeff Samardzija was fantastic. You can see that Billy Burns led off the game with a triple. Bassett threw the ball well. You see the line for Samardzija. Posey, Crawford, and Adrianza with RBI singles. And the Giants pitchers have retired 18 straight. 18 straight. So here's Billy Butler.
Josh Osich, the new pitcher now for the Giants. That's what he has done in 8 games during spring. 8 strikeouts in 7 innings with 6 walks. A bit of a concern. Hard thrower. See, low to high 90s.
Look out. Almost got Washington coaching at third.
Yeah, he still got it. Ron Washington. Good baseball man. Former manager of the Texas Rangers. Did a nice job down there. Back now with the A's. Was at the helm of the Texas Rangers in 2010 when the Giants beat the Rangers in their first World Championship title.
Look out down the right field line and out of play. There's Adrianza. He's in. Crawford's out. It's 2-2 to Billy Butler.
Man made a nice play. Got his lucky hat on.
Full count. Sharply under the glove of the diving Panic. So Butler aboard. So here's Josh Reddick. That's the first base runner since the first hitter of the game.
Well, it shouldn't surprise you coming off the bat of Butler. I mean, he's been on fire. Having a great spring.
Reddick is 0 for 2. And the bell tie strike, and it's 0-1. $41,241. The 0-1 to Reddick. Reddick off the end of the bat out to Pence. Pence will make the catch. Every one of those balls hit like that in Arizona, you just think, oh, that's gone.
I mean, especially towards the end when the wind was picking up and every day it was blowing out.
There's Mike's old teammate.
Bob Melvin has done a great job at the helm of the Oakland Athletics. Good baseball man. Their whole staff, good staff. Coaches.
Here's Danny Valencia. And he takes a strike. 95 from Osich.
A's have moved things around a bit on their coaching staff. Mark Kotze, the new bench coach, Mike Aldretti, who was there last year, now at first base.
A long run for Hunter Pence. And he will not get along the belt and Panic. No man's land. That's where that ball was.
There's Mark Kotze. Bruce Bochy said one of his all-time favorites when he had him in San Diego. This year, sitting on the bench next to Bob Melvin, being his right-hand man.
Was that Barry Zito's last hitter he faced?
It was.
In a Giants uniform.
And that was Mark Kotze's last plate appearance, too.
That.
And he struck out. And he didn't strike out a lot. He had a nice career. Good player.
Got him.
Good changeup. Two strikeouts tonight for Valencia.
Here's Vogt. Vogt, soft line drive to second and fly ball to center field. Foul past Mike Aldretti. Attababe got a little chilly, Attababe.
Yeah, had to put a jacket on, cover up his number. Attababe. Clyde Frelick.
Attababe.
Just missed him. And there's out of here on the left field ball dude chair. Are the ball dude stools getting a little higher?
No, not at all. Not at all. Way out into right center field. And off the bottom of the wall. Vogt is going for three, and he'll make it. Butler scores. It's 3-1.
You just don't see a lot of triples from catchers. But that's going to be the last pitch of the night for Josh Osich. And let's take a look at that swing. They set up on the outside corner. A breaking ball that hangs middle in at the belt, and that had "hit me" written all over it, and Vogt does not miss. And now you hit the same ball in Arizona. Where is it, Kay?
Gone. 3-1 Giants. Corey Guerin coming in. We'll be back. The A's have put across a run to get on the board, and Corey Guerin now is the new pitcher as he will be facing Chris Davis. He's got the look, doesn't he?
He does have the hairy eyeball. Guerin in 10 games this spring, outstanding, and it got him a place on the roster. Giants going to break camp at 13 pitchers. 1-1 with a 2.61 ERA. Low 3/4 release, big time sink, hard slider, and a circle change. Go get him.
Davis has bounced out. Check that. Davis has struck out and popped out. So the A's break through here in the 7th off of Josh Osich. Look out.
You know, Guerin is such a mild-mannered guy. He's a total gentleman. And yet he gets out there on the mound, and he's got that look in his face that he will take that ear flap off your helmet at any given time just to stay in shape.
That is a fact. Two balls, no strikes. Adrianza, side retired. A's on the board. It's 3-1 Giants. So we do have multiple changes. And we'll try to help you out with those changes as Panic takes high. Panic is 0 for 3. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout. And the pitch is high, 2-0. Strike. I do believe the catcher is Bruce Maxwell. late call strike to even the count at 2-2. Sportman is in right. Chapman is at third. Pinder's at second. Here's the 2-2 to Panic. Panic lines it to right. Sportman is there, and he'll make the catch. 1 out. And here's Buster Posey.
Defensive changes for Oakland. Number 63 was Matt Sewell. At third base, number 36, Matt Chapman. At second base, number 67, Chad Pinder. And at right field, number 84, James.
Buster tonight has a couple of hits.
Now the 2 hits, he's got to be pretty happy with. The one right back up the middle, the other one in the opposite field for an RBI.
And he looks at a strike, and it's 0-1. Hunter Pence to follow. We are in the bottom of the 7th. A quick 0-2 to Buster Posey.
Cool evening in San Francisco, the last day of March.
55 degrees at first pitch. Probably cooled off a little bit since then.
A couple of veterans, they brought their blanket.
Buster, high tapper. And Buster's got his 3rd hit.
He was chugging pretty good down that line. Nice speed. That's March 31st speed. You don't get that kind of speed as a catcher in September.
Out by 2 steps in September.
Now let's take a look. Yep. That is the difference between now and September. That's 4 or 5 speed with a pretty big backswing. That's not bad.
Here's Hunter Pence. Pence has hit the hardest ball all night. He knocked down the wall in left field in the 4th with a double. And he takes way outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, he hit a line drive to hit the ball and made an unbelievable sound.
He wasn't at first yet when it hit the wall.
That was. Get out there in a hurry. New look in left field here at AT&T Park. The Chevron cars have changed dramatically in left field.
And a strike to Pence.
And the only reason I bring it up is that they've been there for 16 years. This year, a new look. And a little bit higher fence in left field.
Jeff Kent was absolutely sure he was going to have 4 home runs a year taken away from him by the hood of that car.
He said, if it happens one time, I'm going to take the chainsaw and cut it off. And we all laughed, and then we had to look into his eye, and he had the look that he wasn't messing around. He'd have done it. So the area there, I mean, it kind of juts up. It's about almost 4 feet higher than the normal fence.
And Pence out swinging on the breaking ball. 2 outs. And here's Belt. So the overshift is on for Belt.
Defensive replacements.
So here's Belt. Belt's been on base twice. He takes way inside. Big breaking ball misses.
Pretty good pitch right there. I mean, that thing came completely across the plate. Did not miss by much.
That's foul.
You mentioned the defensive replacements. Bruce Maxwell behind the plate. This is the time of year when you see every catcher with new gear, new equipment, new color schemes. And those are things that you see as a pitcher. I mean, 60 feet 6 inches away, you're going to see what your catcher brings out there. And Bruce Maxwell, in catcher's lingo, is styling.
He is styling. Two balls, two strikes. Check swing on a breaking ball to Belt, and we'll do it again. To pitch with Posey at first here in the 7th. Ooh, that's a very close pitch.
Just missed. That's two close pitches on that outside corner that Patrick Schuster has not gotten. See the target from Maxwell. I mean, he hardly moves the glove.
Runner goes, skied into center field. And that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, one left through 7. Giants are leading 3-1.
Exhibition Series, Giants lead 3-1. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. Hey, what are you doing on Monday? I think that you should hang out with us. It is T-minus 3 days until opening day 2016. Your San Francisco Giants are heading to Milwaukee. They're going to take on the Brewers. We have Giants pregame live starting at 10 a.m. So have a late breakfast. Start getting all your info before Madison Bumgarner takes the hill for an 11:10 Pacific time first pitch. And of course, we'll break down the game after with our Giants post-game live. You can catch every single minute on CSN Bay Area. Gentlemen.
All right. Good information. Amy, here's Matt Chapman. Chapman's had a good spring. He's impressed us as he takes a breaking ball from Guerin for a strike. Swing. He ain't gonna miss.
Big time sink falling off the plate inside.
5 home runs for this kid this spring. 13 RBIs.
A lot of loud contact.
Got him. That's nasty.
That's just big time sink.
Bruce Bochy's coming out. He's going to get Lopez a chance to pitch to a left-hander.
That is a great 0-2 pitch. You start at the base of the strike zone, just let it explode down. And a hot hitter just got sent packing. It's good stuff.
All right, we'll take a break. Lopez coming in. Guerin departs. Giants are leading 3-1, and we'll be back.
Right after the game, right here on CSN Bay Area, Dave Feldman, Ahmed Fareed will bring you clubhouse reaction to tonight's ball game. Warriors will discuss the record chase, and they'll have an analysis of the 49ers move with Colin Kaepernick. All that and more tonight. Hyundai Sportsnet Central.
Mark Hanna is going to pinch hit. So now it's a right-hander facing Lopez. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Javier Lopez.
Look out. Down the left field line. Under the seats. It's 0-2.
Got a man making a play. And that was a pretty healthy line drive coming his way.
Yes, it was. Low. 1-2.
Javier Lopez broke into professional baseball back in 1998. He's pitched a long time. He'll turn 39 this July. 11-year veteran. And here's what he has done in spring. Inflated ERA really because of one outing that kind of went awry. But he can give you 3 different angles, 3 different release. Kind of a high sidearm delivery most of the time. A couple types of fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup, which he'll throw to right-handers a lot.
Got him. Ken is having a tough spring. Not many guys have tough springs with the hitting conditions in Arizona, but Canna came in hitting under 180. So here's Marcus Semien with 2 outs. And the first pitch is down low.
Not by much. Well, when you're cold like Canny is right now, I mean, you know what he's getting told by his hit instructor.
Doesn't count.
Hits are coming, baby.
Oh, you're due.
Yeah, they're all going to start on opening day. Well, they have lots to talk about.
Yes, they do.
A few things to sort out.
Yes, they do. 2-0 to Marcus Semien, who's 0 for 2. 3-0.
And if you're really hot and you're lighting it up, and you're fearful that you're leaving all your hits in spring training, your hit instructors just say, hey, you're hot, you can hit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Don't even worry about that. I always used to love watching the reaction of Richard, really, who always seemed to just get hot the last week of spring training, and he was just a rag because he knew that he was leaving all his hits in spring training.
Ball back 3-2.
It was predictable.
And then the fear is as you go 0 for 4 on opening day.
Yeah, it was like, see, I told you, I'm going cold. Because they don't put spring training on your baseball card. They just don't.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's been hot. Brandon Belt.
That foul.
He's a guy that always seems to have a great spring.
He does.
Duffy's had a good spring. Panic's back healthy again.
Adrianza juggle, got it, throws, side retired. Giants coming up, bottom of the 8th, 3-1.
Athletics will have a new pitcher. It's going to be the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez. Rodriguez in his 5th year at the big league level, 31 years of age, 6'3", 235-pounder out of El Paso, Texas. And you're looking at his spring, 14 strikeouts in 11 innings.
Fernando Rodriguez facing Matt Duffy, who's got a hit in 3 at-bats. You see Mark Cannon now at first. So here's Rodriguez to Duffy with Blanco on deck.
A's have been trying to crowd Duffy all night long in that inside corner.
You know, he hits that inside pitch pretty well, and the thing about it is he pulls it.
You know, you see him use the middle of the field a lot of balls to right field, but if you think he's going to be predictable with that side of the field, think again, because he will jump on an inside pitch and pull it. Most of his home runs are middle in.
Yeah, he especially likes that pitch down and in.
At a Long Beach State.
Two and two.
It was great spring training. It's up there to hit. Somebody yelled out, "Duffy, total dirtbag." And a couple of fans sitting underneath the booth where we were doing the radio game were upset by that.
Yeah, they want to fight him.
Calling Duffy a dirtbag. Well, he is. You go to Long Beach State, that's the nickname of their baseball team, the Dirtbags. And it all started back in the days when Jason Giambi was part of the Long Beach State baseball team. The infield that they played on, it was all dirt. There was no grass. Dave Snow, the head coach, I mean, he nicknamed them the Dirtbags, and it has stuck. And that's their identity. So you say you call Duffy a dirtbag, he's going to smile. To him, that's the ultimate compliment.
A little flip job to right, and it's going to fall.
Right.
Here's Gregor Blanco. I don't know. It's just not a really comfortable name, is it?
Dirtbags? Well, I mean, that's the point. It's got a little edge to it. Hey, if you're 18, 21 years old and you're in college, you want to play for the Dirtbags.
There's Derek Law as he walks down to the bullpen. There's Gregor Blanco, 286 average this spring. Ari Adrianza's on deck. Blanco with a nice level cut as he fouls it out of play. All right, we okay?
We're good. Blanco really took a while to get going in spring because he had to nurse an injury to his lower back, a little strain. Feeling good now, and he's got a nice little swing going too. Well, the fans tonight are midseason form. I mean, they've got their gear on, and they have made some nice plays. They're for a while in spring training. We were a little worried about them. Saw a lot of drop foul balls. Weren't making their usual great plays. Tonight, they've done a good job. But hey, it's getting close to opening day.
Yes, it is. The home opener. Duffy at first, 2-2 to Blanco. Lifted high into left field. 1 out. So here's Adrianza. Uh-oh, we got a divided family.
Divided family. Well, your baseball allegiance could do that to you.
Adrianza with a base hit in the 6th inning that knocked in a run. Rolls this one foul. Billy Hayes. Good hands, Billy Hayes.
Sweet hands, Billy Hayes. An old catcher. Former first-round pick by the Chicago Cubs.
Shows batting practice every day.
Every day.
How's the elbow? Cranky.
Don't ask me.
Cranky.
How's the shoulder? Worse than the elbow.
Cranky.
Tell you what, I mean, Billy Hayes been around this game a long time. I wish I had a nickel for every pitch he threw in batting practice.
You know, what happens is guys throw batting practice every day, and it hurts, and, you know, they take their Advil, and then they get out of coaching, and they don't throw for a couple years. That's it.
Done.
It locks up on them.
See you later.
You cannot throw again. I mean, you think that's a bit odd where a guy would throw every day for 10 years and then lay off for a couple of years and just pick it right back up again? Nope. The 1-2 to Adrianza is going to be a throw to first instead.
Good to see Roberto Kelly back. Had a little injury during spring training to his calf. Kind of put him on the shelf for a while. Good to go.
And Adrianza goes around.
Good curveball.
So here's Pagan with 2 outs.
But coaches and every coaching staff in the big leagues, same deal. I mean, you got to have guys that can throw.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. And now with the amount of batting practice hitters ask for away from normal batting practice on the field, you need guys to throw that too. Nice play by Pagan to take a hit away from Alonso.
And that was the first out of the 3rd inning. And then Jeff Samardzija proceeded to blow Simeon and Burns away with strikeouts. And he wound up being a 1-2-3 inning because of that play. Jeff Samardzija, he was the man tonight. But it helps to have good defense.
Yes, it does. Pagan, a little flare to left. He's got a hit. And that means Denard Span's going to get another at bat. So here's Span. Span drew a walk in the 5th and scored. swing and a pop-up straight back and out of play.
Psyched.
Yes.
And the one thing about the Major League Baseball, too, during spring training, they're stamped differently. It says spring training on it. It doesn't say the official Major League Baseball stamped like it normally does during the season. So in San Francisco, I mean, that's kind of a unique baseball.
Absolutely. Psyched, you're right. 1-1 to Span. Span on the ground. Pinder throws him out. That's going to end the inning. We will head to the ninth. Derek Law is coming in. It's 3-1 Giants. Giants on NBC Bay Area. Saturday, Giants and A's on CSN California. And then join us on Monday. It's opening day at 11 a.m. in the morning. It'll be the Giants and the Brewers on CSN Bay Area. Pregame live will start at 10. So here's Derek Law.
Take a look at the numbers that he has had spring training. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. And a fastball, curveball, and a split. 3 ways he can strike out. And he can heat it up there pretty good velocity-wise with the fastball. I don't know of too many guys that have an overhand curveball like his and a split. If you remember Tim Lincecum's arm action where he would point his arm straight down to the ground, really anchor his hand down before he starts. Well, Law is the same way.
Trevor Brown now the catcher. Blanco in left. Full count. Burns triple to open up the game. He's 1 for 3. Billy Butler on deck. And that's hit on the ground. Adrianza gets rid of it quickly. 1 out.
Nice play. I mean,
you can't wait around.
Burns does not give you a lot of time. And with a fast runner, I mean, I think that's the play that defines a shortstop at the big league level. How quickly they can get set up on their back foot going to the right.
So Law comes back after falling behind 3-1, and here's Billy Butler, who in his only at bat singled in the 7th. And a good fastball for a called strike. 94.
And we've seen that kind of velocity from them all spring long.
0-2.
It's a good test for Law because of how hot Butler has been.
Span on the move, and Span's going to run it down. 2 outs. These games are really important for Denard Span to get some action in this ballpark defensively. So Romo's coming in. So Derek Law faces Burns and Butler, and now Romo will face. I'm not sure. Not sure.
A couple of candidates right there.
It's going to be Maxwell. Yeah, talk about Samardzija a little bit.
Well, really impressive in so many ways, but I think overall he's going to be excited about every pitch that he has. He was able to throw, locate, and the finish on all the pitches, the little cut that he had, the little extra little hop that ran away with the sinker and the 2-seam. He was throwing every one of his pitches in 3-2 counts, and he didn't have many of them. I mean, he was just dominant. I mean, that's the most life that he has had on all of his pitches, and that's simply because he's thrown into humidity. He's got some air to work with here in San Francisco, as opposed to throwing it in arid conditions in the desert. So what better way to get your confidence going than have 5 solid innings like that going into his start Wednesday. But right now it's Sergio Romo who takes the ball from Bruce Bochy, and here's his spring training. Really only had 1 bad outing in the 6 games that he threw. 7 strikeouts against 1 walk. Pitched in last night's ball game in Sacramento, and he was excited that he got his curveball back.
He did.
And simply because he's out of the dry desert air. For Romo, when you take your bats against him, you're going to see a low 3/4 release with a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup combination. And I say curveball because I think he threw one about 4 years ago, but we have to include it. For the most part, it's 2 types of fastball, slider, change. Go get him.
So here's Maxwell facing Romo. And a called strike. Alex Pavlovich just tweeted out that Samardzija said after the game he liked this weather, football weather.
Well, yeah, you're going to get it all year, so welcome to San Francisco.
Just the pitch is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's go, Bruce!
Romo to Maxwell. Swing and a miss.
Good sink on the fastball, perfect location.
Got him, and that's the ball game. So Romo gets the last out, and the Giants will win this game on a cool night by a final of 3-1. And I guess, Mike, the story really is Samardzija.
Well, Samardzija was fantastic, and it's exactly the type of outing you're looking for going into first start, and he was just dominant with a lot of late movement. He and Buster Posey really had a nice rhythm going, and Posey with the bat, a 3-hit night. Matt Duffy, a 2-hit night.
Final score, 3-1 Giants. Join us on NBC Barrie tomorrow night at 7 for Game 2 of this Bay Bridge series. And then we'll be back with you on CSN Bay Area Monday morning at 10 for Giants pregame live before the Giants and the Brewers tee it up on opening day. For Amy G and for my partner Mike Krukow, I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night, everybody, and stay tuned. Sportsnet Central starts right now.